Doncic just kept piling on achievement after achievement after achievement, and we're scrambling.
Luka is the LeBron James, the way that he's able to take control of a game and put a team on his back.
There's no question anymore that Luka is that dude. The 23-year-old Slovenian has taken the league by storm since the 2018 draft. After a historic night of 60 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists on December 27, 2022, he became the only player in NBA history to record a 60-20-10 game. Doncic has been tearing up the league since he first arrived after playing for Real Madrid in Spain, where at age 16, he became the youngest player to ever play for that team. What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to Mad Hoops, as always bringing you the hottest NBA content on YouTube. Let's get right into it. Since Luka has come overseas and played in America, he has garnered the attention of the media and fans all over due to his fundamentally sound game and his charismatic charm.
Got it. Here in the corner, Luka! Goes in! How did he do?
He is currently in his 5th season and has more eyes on him now than ever before. And he is on the way to becoming one of the greatest international players to ever play in the NBA. His individual talent cannot be denied, but is it enough to get him a ring? Luka is currently leading the NBA in scoring, averaging at 34.3 points per game, as well as snagging 8.8 rebounds and handing out 8.9 assists per game. He is virtually unguardable from anywhere on the court. He creates space so well with his broad shoulders and his large frame that when he bumps you, it pushes you back far enough for him to get separation for his shot. He can also go left and right off the dribble. He loves attacking the rim, and he has a lethal step back. Offensively, there are no holes in his game. The smooth and calculated pace in which he plays at reduces his risk for injury, and with a jump shot as wet as his, he'll be playing for a long time.
It's Luka against Josh Richardson, left side of the floor. Luka's three, it's a ring.
Not only does his 6'7" frame help him at the point guard position for scoring, but it greatly increases his ability to see the floor. Luka is one of the best playmakers in the league, and because he runs the offense for the Mavs, he always has the ball in his hands. Coached by one of the best playmakers in history, Jason Kidd, Luka is able to play a ball-dominant role for his team.
This kid doesn't quit. He doesn't quit. He's special. You know, the history of the game is written by the players.
This is where the problem in his team's performance starts to rise, as his teammates are forced into a more one-dimensional role with Luka being the only focal point of the offense. The Mavs are currently seated 4th in the Western Conference, which is not terrible at all, and Luka is tied with Pascal Siakam for minutes per game and 3rd in the league for usage percentage. What does this mean? It means when he's in the game and the Mavs are on offense, he has the ball.
KK trying to keep up with Luka for the shoot. Step back. Count it!
While yes, he is still young, he's going to need more help to lead his team to a championship. The Mavs are 18th in points per game, dead last in rebounds per game, and 2nd last in assists per game. Yes, you heard that correctly. Dead last in rebounds and 2nd last in assists. That's not going to cut it in the Western Conference playoffs or any league, regardless of how well Luka plays. Doncic is leading the team with 34.3 points per game. The second leading scorer on the Mavs is Christian Wood with 17.8 points per game. That's right, almost a 17-point difference between the first and second leading scorer on the same team. Spencer Dinwiddie is not far behind Wood with 16.1 points per game. Let's look at their rebounding. Luka is leading the team with 8.8 a game, and second is Christian Wood again with 7.9. The next closest is Finney Smith with 4 rebounds a game. How about assists? Luka is leading the team with 8.9. Second is Dinwiddie with 5.1. The next closest is Kemba Walker with 2.4. 2.4. You see this all the time in the NBA. A new young talent comes in with a high draft pick. The team stinks for a few years because they were a lottery team. That player struggles to win but racks up on a stat sheet.
Luka from just inside half court. He got it! He got it!
Then they realize that they want more. They want to win a ring. Sometimes the organization pulls through.
Foul again. Luka launches it.
And sometimes they don't. There's one thing for sure, Luka needs help. But let's not forget, the NBA is a business. It's a league of stars, and people pay good money to go and see the stars play. It's very marketable to have a solo star carrying a team, and the story that comes along with it. Luka has been one of the biggest stories all season long so far, with the talk of him carrying the team. So for all we know, the Mavs in the league could prefer to keep things the way they are strictly for revenue reasons and intrigue in the underdog story.
0 for 8 for the floor in OT. There's the first made field goal.
Now usually, you could look at a team's roster and their season stats and assess what their primary needs are. The way the Mavs are looking right now, anything helps. Luka is doing it all on his own. They need rebounding. They need another scorer. They need someone else to help initiate the offense, especially when Luka's sitting. He's in his 5th season at 23 years old. These next couple of years, he'll be entering his prime, and it's going to get scary for the league. The only issue is, will he be winning? Greatness has many different meanings depending on who you ask. There seems to be one common theme for greatness in the NBA though, and that's being the best player on the best team and winning the ship. It's the ultimate goal and the ultimate accomplishment in basketball.
Luka with the step back three. Oh yeah!
The current situation for the Mavs looks like they will be a playoff team, but not really a contender. They need to shake things up. The NBA trade deadline is just over a month away on Thursday, February 9th, and the organization needs to make a move if they want to be taken seriously as a title threat. As of now, Luka is a superstar on a bad team and nothing more. Will a trade help? It's tough to say. The problem isn't only their lack of rebounding, shooting, and playmaking. It's their system. Watching the Mavs play is like watching a movie that you've already seen like 10 times. You already know what's gonna happen before it happens. Luka is gonna play 34 to 35 minutes. He's gonna have the ball in his hand the majority of each possession, and if not, he's getting a screen off ball to come and get it. Some people might question, hey, 4th seed in the tough Western Conference isn't bad, is it? And that's true, it isn't bad, but it's definitely not great. Teams with offense like this are too predictable and easy for the opponent to counter and defend.
Before that, George was 19 of 22 this year on that.
Let's look at the 2018-19 Rockets with James Harden. They finished 4th in the West, with Harden averaging 36.1 points per game that season. The Rockets had one of the most predictable offenses of all time, with Harden running the show. They ended up losing in the second round to Golden State in 6 games. While obviously Harden and Luka are completely different players, their usage rates were both very high, and they both were overly ball dominant and the only real playmakers on their respective squads. Come playoff time, that style of play becomes too easy to guard when the defense can lock in on one player and not worry about another player on the team giving them a 30-piece. All of this to say, with Luka coming into his prime these next few years, the Mavs should really put the pieces around him to capitalize on his talents. Maybe they need to switch up the way the offense is run, and they for sure need to get a big that can rebound the ball. Luka is an all-world talent, and he continues to improve every year he's in the league. If he stays healthy, which I'm sure he will with his slow style of play and his lesser athleticism, there's no reason he shouldn't be competing for the title in upcoming years. He just needs the pieces around him and a system that involves more of a team contribution to the offense.
KK trying to keep up with Luka for the shoot. Step back.
Let me know in the comments what you think the Mavs should try and do to build something special around Luka and create a championship team. Do you think it's the system? Maybe Luka needs to switch up his style of play? Or is it just the lack of talent on the team surrounding him? Either way, it's clear to see that Luka needs help carrying his team to the promised land, and a talent like his deserves a ring on his resume. Peace.